Hello everyone, this is Lynn from Lynn's Custom Pins. This video is going to be about how I go about cutting one of my playfields. So this is Tail of the Dragon. I need to recut a new playfield because I moved some things around. And this should be the final layout that I expect to use. So I start off by cutting a playfield blank, which is for Tail of the Dragon. It uses the classic size of 42 inches tall, 20.25 inches wide. So I cut that out. Then I cut out the little button areas, which is 4 inches by 2 inches or some such. I do that on both sides. And then I overlay my schematic on top. As I did here. I line it up and I tape it as tight as I can. Now, you'll notice some things are dark black. Those things that are dark black, I went over with Sharpie quite a bit. I'm going to need to actually use a router to cut those because they're for targets and various devices like the trough down there, a ramp type thing over here. So by using Sharpie, that transfers it on the wood, and later on, once I remove the sheet of paper, once it's just full of holes, then I can route this out and it'll be in the spot that it needs to be relative to where all the insert and other dimples are. So I'm going to start dimpling things out and drilling wire holes.
Okay, I'm back.
I'll be back. That took about half an hour or so. So as you can see now, I drilled holes, either pilot holes or little dimple holes for all the major devices, all the inserts, all the wires. I did a through hole for the saucer. I did through holes for the pop bumper areas, and everything else has been dimpled. Now, I did not dimple the GI because originally I did not have the GI in the schematic. So these GI holes do not line up with the GI holes I have wired up on the table way over there. So when I go to do the transfer, the playfield swap, I'm going to have to cut the GI holes. Everything else will line up fine though. So now I get to take this sheet of paper off because it's no longer needed, and take care of all the insert holes and all the additional through holes that I need. So let me put this down. Okay, hopefully that won't fall. So now it's a matter of just taking all the tape off and pulling the sheet of paper off. I can throw the sheet of paper out. It's no longer needed, and it's very unlikely I'll be able to line it up again, even if I wanted to. So if I miss something, I'm going to have to eyeball it. But I don't think I missed anything. So cutting one of these playfields usually takes a good, I want to say, 6 to 10 hours, depending on the complexity. I'm not the greatest woodworker in the world, so I'm not lickety split quick. In fact, I can't even take the piece of tape off. But yeah, it takes about 6 to 8 hours. The most time-consuming part is actually getting all the inserts in and getting them flush. Previous on that other playfield, I didn't spend a lot of time with that, so a lot of them are raised up a little bit, which is not ideal for actual play testing and location testing, but it certainly served its purpose to get programming in and get the basic layout tweaked and tested. Okay. Doesn't look that bad. So here you go. White wood with all the holes marked, ready to cut. I'm going to cut a couple more holes tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to cut everything else. Alright, the last thing I'm going to do tonight is show you the process I need to go through for each insert. I'm going to add in the special when lit insert down over here. This is a 1-inch insert. These inserts need to be flush with the top of the playfield once they're all the way in, and they need to have a shelf with a 1/2 inch through hole all the way through for the actual lamp. So the process I have is a little tedious, but I'm doing this by hand, so I don't really think there's much else that I can do. Just need to make sure I'm getting the right drill bit. That is not the correct drill bit. Correct drill bit. Brand new, so it should cut through the wood really nicely. So I just want to make a point to say something. Previously, I used these style of drill bits, and they did not really have a very good clean cut on this type of plywood. So I needed a better solution. So now I'm using this style of drill bit, and it seems to have a very nice clean cut. I do probably about half to 3/4 of the way through on top, and then I finish it off on the bottom so it stays nice and flush on both sides. The other thing I've done, I cut through holes for each insert using this drill bit. And this drill bit is slightly larger than the drill bit that I use for the wire holes and the dimples. This is the drill bit I use for wire holes and dimples. So I can use this drill bit to poke up through, can you see this? Poke up through the bottom and get the insert out. Because I'm going to need to test the insert's height multiple times over the course of this process. And if I push the insert in and I can't get it out, then that does no good to me. So I will be using that to poke it back out. So the first step, just kind of cut a hole, not very deep, but a little deep. Oh, and these are a quarter of an inch deep. So I'm going to start here. That's not tight enough. Alright, that's not deep enough, so I keep going. But I also need to keep this area clean and make sure the drill bit stays clean so it doesn't jump. Alright, so this left side is actually a little deeper than I want it to be, but the right side isn't as deep as I want it to be. So I need to not cut the left side now. And that insert is pretty flush. Yeah, that insert's pretty flush now. So I wanted to do this one first because this isn't critical to gameplay. This upper section here is a little deeper than I want it to be, so I'm going to use some fake wood to fill that out and get the whole thing flush again. This right side is where I want it to be. So now that I have that, I can use a 1/2-inch bit, which is this, and continue going all the way through for the lamp hole. And like I said, I do a little bit on top, and then the rest on the bottom. Okay. And that typically makes cleaner cuts. This was already a little split. Typically makes cleaner cuts. Alright, so here's the final hole. It has a nice little shelf that the insert fits on, so it can't go too far in. So over time, wear and tear, can't push it deeper. And it also has a hole straight through, so the light can illuminate the insert. Here's the back side. So, like I said, this split a little bit, but I think that was caused by just the standard drill bit going through. And you can see that this whole back is kind of pushed out. But the back, or the bottom, doesn't really matter much as far as aesthetics go. And when I sand the whole thing down when I'm done, it'll look nice and clean. It's the top that I care more about than the aesthetics, and the top is pretty clean. If I bring this in close, you can see these holes are generally pretty clean on top, and with a little bit of sanding, they'll turn out really nice. So there's the insert hole. Yeah, there's the insert hole, and there's the insert in the hole. So one down, good 60 odd inserts to go. I'm going to do that off camera tomorrow. It's getting late tonight. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll make another video showing the process tomorrow as well.